Thank you for watching my video. Today we're going to be talking about quality of life differences in Guild Wars 2. And these would be small things that you can do to your game that you may not realise that actually exist in your game already, but that make Guild Wars 2 that little bit easier for you, give you small little details that will actually make your life a hell of a lot easier and better. So today, that's what this video is going to be talking about. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and first off look at something that I originally saw on Reddit, and that was actually something to do with the guild bank. But if we show you here, this is what we're going to do first. You can actually change around things like the size of your inventory, and somebody actually didn't realize that you could do that. You can see in the bottom right of your inventory that that little tab there does mean that. You can also hide your bags. That's something that a couple of people have asked me as well. And you can hide the rarity, which you can see there. You can see the difference between like the masterwork and the rare items and the ascended materials, and that's what you can do. I like having the rarity on there, so it gives me a better idea of what the good items. You can compact. I hate that feature, and obviously deposit all materials. That's what you want to do straight away for any materials like food, etc., and ore. They'll go straight into your bank. But this is what I wanted to talk to you about regarding this. What I'm going to do is switching over to my own personal guild, and if you go to your guild bank, what you'll see is you've got your guild bank and you have your inventory. So this is my guild bank and this is my inventory, but there is a way you can move stuff from your bank to your guild bank, your personal bank to your guild bank, and it's this little tab here which says currently inventory, and this is what I saw on Reddit the other day. And if you click on this, it comes up with your account vault, and there you go. This is everything in your bank, and it makes it a lot easier rather than going and putting everything in your inventory like I have been doing, to go from your account vault to your guild bank. And it should give you guys that little bit of easier life, just going up to your guild bank and being able to move stuff from your account bound. As you can see, that the dailies just happened. So that's something I didn't realize, and I've been playing this for almost 3 years. I don't know when they brought it in, if it's a new thing, and that is something that, as you can see, we've got some laurels there. But yeah, I hope this little interesting thing for you, something that's quite interesting and should be beneficial for you. So I wanted to show you as well, I was just trying to double click, but unfortunately you can't double click something, which is really odd compared to your bank. You can double click and it moves it automatically. You can't do that for your guild bank. So here we go, we double click that, and that's something as well, because we already have some items in our bank. You double click in it on your inventory and it will whip over there automatically. So it's really quick and easy way to put stuff in your bank. As you can see here, these are the materials. You can easily find the material type that you're after by clicking on the drop down box, although it's pretty easy just to scroll down. That's not really a massive feature. If you are after a particular type of armor, you can search that. I know, for example, I've done that for ascended armor, trying to find out which ones I'm missing. You can actually move the inventory boxes around, so the chat box, and you can actually make it bigger or smaller. And someone actually mentioned that their box was stuck like this above their bar, and they didn't realize that you can actually make it smaller to get back to that location. So you can make it bigger, move it around up or down. Again, just small things that people may not have realized that you can actually do this. Everyone has their own way of doing and having the chat box to their own sort of specifications. So I'm going to make that back to where it was. But yeah, you can actually move the minimap as well. The minimap goes up and down. But what we're going to do, we're going to look at some of the different options you can do. AoE loot on interact, that is really good. As is, you can see the server clock, so you can see very well and clearly what time the dragon events are going on. And because I'm currently in the UK, that I am bang on server time, although I'm actually in British summertime, so I'm an hour ahead. But yeah, the AoE loot on interact, really, really good, because you just press F and you can get a loot in a wide area. You don't have to check out all the items. It automatically puts it into your inventory with auto loot. You can show the different names, so if you don't want all these names showing up, you can deselect it. If we show you here, so we click on that and a load of the names disappear and reappear. You can disable closing with Windows. I like that. I like having the skill recharge, so you might notice there's been numbers that appear. The camera mode, I've already done a video on that in the past, how to do that. You can change the camera height, for tall Norn or small Azura. Double tap to evade. For those of you doing jumping puzzles, it's probably wise to take this off, just so you don't fall off the edge, because a number of times I have double clicked or double tapped to go to the left, like that, and I've gone off the edge. You can disable the area of effect rings. I don't see why you want to do that. There is the melee attack assist that basically stops you running past your attacker. I actually disabled that because I like to run through them and sort of, go past them with a lot of my characters. So that's what I do there. You've got auto targeting. You can take that off if you wanted to, and there's a few other different options as well. So it's wise to actually look at all these options and see what you've got. There are graphical options that's pretty much limited to what you actually have yourself, again, the sound and the controls. I've done a video talking about the keybinds, so I'm not really going to go into too much detail there, but you can obviously set your keybinds up how you want, which as you can see now, I actually have that for my skills 7 to 10. So that's just some of the quality of life there. I actually have changed my PvP track, so you can see that's now P. I find it a lot easier because I play PvP a lot. So rather than just pressing P for party, I actually have P for PvP. And if we move, what else should we look at? Well, you might notice now as well, and that if you hover over the world versus world and the guild bank, it actually showed you the luck that you can actually on the upgrades you have. Not the luck, but like bonuses to your stats. You can actually as well highlight certain achievements if you want to keep track of your Slayer achievement. You got the little eye on it, and it'll keep an eye on there as well, so quite handy to have that. But yeah, the World vs World and the Guild section actually show you what your bonuses, for crafting, for dungeons, etc., etc., magic finds, So that's something that you can just hover over and easily find out. So, double tap, that was to show you if you're a couple of people, I don't believe this, but have actually said they didn't realize how to dodge. So, just by double tapping, you saw me do that there, is dodging. We go through the hero tab. There isn't really too much that I can really describe here. You can see your crafting if you wanted to just have a quick look, and you can see how to craft something. Even when you're not actually at a crafting station, you won't be able to craft, but you can show you can also do things like you can equip that you have the materials for that give you experience. Obviously, because I'm max level for jeweler and food, I can't actually get any further levels. So yep, just things like this. Obviously daily, you can highlight as well, although I don't see why you'd need to, but it just helps you out to keep track of your goals. And that's the whole point. If you guys have got any different things that you've noticed in game that help you out, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. This video is about showing everybody what things are in Guild Wars 2 that just make things so much easier, and that things that, as I said, I'm still finding out new things in the game. If you ever go into the Reddit section, you want to look at the QOL. As you can see, I'm zooming in on my minimap. You can do that. You can even toggle the rotation, so you can move the minimap around like that. It just means that you're looking at where you're facing. I actually prefer to have it static, and that's pretty much it. You can actually change the layers as well. Obviously, the Grove is a 4-layer sort of home instance, and you can just glowing up here and here because the waypoints are very clumped together centrally. By going on the different levels, you can zoom down or zoom up in the Grove. But yeah, generally, if you go to Reddit, the Reddit forums, and you look for the TIL, which is Today I Learned, and the Quality of Life, which is the QOL, anything like that, then it should give you some information, hopefully, that you may not have realized before. So what we're going to be looking at now is what we're going to look at. The combat log. A couple of people had been asking me how they check out how much damage, or one of the big guildies was like, I can't believe this guy killed me in 2 shots. How did he do that? Well, I said, go to your combat log. He's like, what? So the combat log is in your chat. You can create little tabs. You have the little plus sign that you can create your own tab. And the combat section, you can get all these different options. So you can see what actually hit you, what killed you, how much damage you gave out. And it's just something that it will really help you, particularly in PvP. And for that, you really should, access your combat log, and you can see and tell how much damage people are doing to you. So I definitely recommend having a section for your combat log. You might see a lot of my PvP builds where I actually do have the combat log on, so you guys can see how much damage. We have a little section here. You can see I've held down the Alt tab, and that is whereby I'm moving a stack or a number of items and want to divide it. If I'm moving it to multiple characters, I hold down the Alt tab, move it across, and you can give it an option for how many you want to move to the next section. For this section, what I want to show you is that if you're ever in a map or an instance, if you move over this section, like the points of interest, the waypoints, the vistas, if you're outside in the world, hearts and hero points, if you just hover over it, it will actually flash up and show you. Obviously, the hearts need to be discovered. If you haven't discovered a heart, then all you need to do is it will actually flash up a sort of spyglass, and you just need to go and speak to the scout, and he will point out the heart for you, and it'll appear. So that's something, again, if you're missing that one last remaining heart, if you've got like 98% map completion for the area, you need a heart and you don't know where it is, rather than go to the wiki, you can do that, look for the scout, and it'll just save you a lot of time. So as we scroll down, this is obviously all my bank inventory as well, and I think now what we're going to go and look at is, let's have a look at some of the different crafting options as well. Particularly though, I wanted to show you just something if you ever want a waypoint quickly. If you're ever wanting to use the Mystic Forge, or access your bank, for example. If you're out in one of the zones like Brisbane Wildlands, for example, you just go to the World vs. World section and you go to your home instance or your home borderland. Unfortunately, Tarnished Coast, which is my home borderland, is currently maxed out, and there is a waiting queue. So rather than wait for you guys, I thought I'd just explain it to you. Go to the World vs. World borderland, you've got your bank, you've got your trading post, and you have a Mystic Forge in your keep as long as you own it. So rather than going from the Brisbane Wildlands all the way into Lion's Arch, and then you've got the loading screen, you've got the waypoint cost, just click B or whatever your keybind for the World vs. World is, and then go to your home borderland, and you'll be able to access and drop everything off, put your bank, everything into your bank. Really useful feature, and the same with PvP. If you want to get to Lion's Arch quickly, you can press go to PvP and then go through the gate to the Lion's Arch. Same with the World vs. World. You can do that to go to the Lion's Arch if you're in, for example, Dry Top and you want to get back to Lion's Arch. Rather than waypointing and spending 4 silver, you can do that. A little feature I've really discovered recently is able to search for stuff in your bank. And again, I don't really use this feature, but if something, if you are looking for an item, like here, I didn't realize I had 2 Foxfire clusters in 2 separate sections. So there we go. Just by doing that, by searching for an item, you can easily, find out what you're looking for. I typed in Orichalcum because the Spinal Blades had it in the text. It actually finds it. So another little useful feature. It saves you a bit of time. Just search. If you're searching for something, you can click search and find the name. Again, you've got the different sections for the materials. Again, you can sort of hide them, but I don't see the point of that really. And that is pretty much it. We can go through our hero tab, and there isn't really much else to talk about. I've talked about many of these other things on other videos. Particularly to do with the personal story, the crafting, the achievements. We've talked about a lot by clicking on some of them. You can actually search for achievements, and you can search for everything. And you can, if you see where my title is, you can click underneath the title. Although you can actually change it, so rather than tier completion, you can have total completion or alphabetical. But if you search for something, I was going to do daily, but if you search, for example, Slayer. Or Avenger, sorry, it will bring up all your Avenger, what has Avenger in. So there you go, that's another little thing that you might want to be interested in. I don't know how relevant that is, but it's, again, a search feature that's interesting that they've brought this in. So these are the difference that, things that make you it would make you actually spend a lot less time searching through your achievements, through the whole game, and I hope you'll find it useful. So please, if you've got anything that I haven't covered, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching.